everybody, thank you so much for coming to this first ever Redecentralize Conference. I'm really excited about it. There are just the most incredible people here. And one of the things I would urge everyone to do is go and talk to everyone, because they're just like people who are doing all kinds of things and making stuff happen and excited and interested. And I think it's going to be an amazing weekend. I don't know what brings you all here. You know, maybe you're worried about the lack of innovation. Maybe you're sitting there thinking, you know what, even all the cool startups are basically optimizing, tracking people so that we can manipulate into selling to them better, or make sure they click on that advert they saw 4 times already. And you're thinking, man, that's, you know, what's that about? Are we using the power of the internet and the web for its maximum purpose? Maybe you're interested in protecting the rights of journalism and whistleblowers and people who take risks and hold institutions of power to account. And you want a society where they can do that safely and securely and freely. Maybe you're interested in your own personal privacy. You know, maybe you're thinking, hey, when the UK becomes a republic, I want to run for president. Oh, I'm planning to do that. And you're thinking, you know, I don't want all of my information and details available to the world when that happens, or for whatever reason, if I choose to challenge the state, I don't want me or my family members or the people who are close to me silenced. Maybe you're thinking, hey, the world's a really big place, and we increasingly depend on digital infrastructures. We depend on the internet to do so much. To work, to connect with people, to talk to our grandparents, to talk to people across the world, to play silly games online, to share photos, to share stories, to share histories, to collaborate, to work on documents. And there's all of that life and richness that exists, and yet is so often increasingly not in the control of the people who use it. You know, it's increasingly in walled gardens where I can't just send an invite to my Facebook friends. I have to sign up. I have to sign and agree to terms and conditions that I've been optimized not to be able to read because they're long and difficult and don't make sense. You know, I can't just talk to my grandmother from whatever platform I'm using. I can't send a Twitter DM to her, you know, Adna Kwasniki, she's in Russia. Message. There's no, we no longer use open standards. Like, it's becoming this sort of smaller space despite being controlled by vast monopolies. And perhaps you think it's time to kind of make a bit of a fuss about this, you know, to really get the conversation happening, to really explore alternatives, to make them possible, to get them mainstream and create alternatives. And create them for everybody. So I would really love for everyone to sit there and think, what do you want to get out of the weekend? You know, maybe you want to just like meet some cool people. Maybe you want to find the solution to your personal decentralized, synced, encrypted backup needs. Maybe you're thinking, I've got this awesome project, but I really need some designers and some business advice. Think about what is it that you want to get. And like, keep that in your mind and get it. And then also think about what is the change that you want to see in the world. How would you love for the world to be different? Because we do have a power collectively, and we care about this stuff, right? We're here on the weekend. You know, yes, there's like awesome free breakfast and awesome coffee and an amazing office. But we're here on the weekend because we care, and because we care, we can do stuff about it, and we can make stuff happen. So we'll be kind of tweeting and documenting and, you know, talking about all the things, and please do that. You know, go on Redecentralize IRC channel, tweet, you know, use the networks that exist to push the message. And make sure people are sitting there thinking about, well, what can they do? Can we really get a Gmail alternative shipped and launched and available and running? Perhaps we can. Will it happen this weekend? I don't know. But it could. Why not? And if not, we can make a step-by-step plan and put some people together to make it happen. some kind of things about the weekend. So partly it's scheduled talks, and we have some amazing speakers, and partly it's unconference, because it's really just about creating conversations and hearing to all the about all the awesome people. So we're going to do session pitches next, and that's going to be a chance for everyone to pitch the sessions they want to have, and we'll schedule them into the day and they'll go on the schedule. After that, we'll also do lightning talks. So that if you don't have a 45-minute session, but you just, you care about small data and you think people really need to know about it, this is your moment. Or you have a rant about the lack of usable open source software. I don't know. It's not true. Open source software is amazing, especially CCAN. Make that happen. So this is an office, so people will be back here on Monday morning. So please be respectful, look after it. Toilets are over there. Coffee and tea, just please make it, and if you can, put cups back in the dishwasher. Mark is going to come up and say some stuff about ThoughtWorks, who are lovely, awesome, wonderful sponsors who not only have provided the space, but also teas and coffees, and the breakfast this morning is all down to them. And if anyone wants anything, come and find me and talk to me. The live streaming is happening, so there'll be tweets about it, link people to it, get everyone talking about it, and also if you walk in front of it, you'll be all live on the internet, so just be aware of that. Try and ask people's permission if you're taking photos of lots of people and putting them online. If you want a quiet, dark room for prayers or breastfeeding or whatever else, also come and chat to me and I'll sort you out. And that's it. Thank you very much. Have an amazing weekend, and over to Mark.
Thank you, Erin, and welcome everybody. I'm Mark, and I'm ThoughtWorks. I think there's about three else of us here. Gigi, Mark, yep, over there in the corner waving their hands. So welcome to our London home. We also have a Manchester home and places in Hamburg, Berlin, Munich, and soon to be Cologne, I think, in Germany. So that's our European space. If you don't know us, we basically build software. And we build software for our clients, and also we build software for charities and groups of people that want to make a difference in the world.
Do you want to be on mic?
Okay, can you all hear me?
We can hear you anyway.
All right, great, yeah, okay, yeah. And most of our new offices are actually set up this way. So they're set up to host, to make a space for groups in the community who want to make a difference in the world, want to make a difference in the IT world and in the social world. So this basically, when we moved into this office about a year ago, this was part of our plan to be able to host groups like you folks and to provide a space for you all to do what you want to do to make the world a better place. So welcome. If you've got any questions about what we do, who we are, then you'll see folks around later on today or here today. But any questions, come and ask us. Any questions now, please stick your hand up. But apart from that, welcome and have a great day.
Yay.
Yeah.
And now we're going to launch the unconference pitches. Woo! Quentin, over to you to introduce them, and everyone with pitches, get ready, line up. That should just be a thing,
I think.
We haven't put one down on there yet. Is it okay to do a pitch anyway?
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
So for a start, who knows what an unconference is? We better check first. Oh, that's great. So most people know about that. The whole idea is we don't own it. We're not organisers. We people out here, we're facilitators, and you own the conference. So, if you want to gang up against us and do something completely different, well, feel free. So the way we start is we've got a list of topics. These are things that people are prepared to talk about. It's not exclusive. If you sort of feel you've missed out and you're burning to do your own little presentation, then by all means grab a post-it or something and we'll tack it on the bottom. So, and as we proceed, you may come up with some idea and want to add it to the list. So feel free to do that. The other thing is, in an unconference, it's not things you can talk about, it's also things you want to know about. So there may be something that you really want to know about, and you could add that on the list and say, I would like to know about whatever it might be. So that's the whole idea. Anyway, we will try and move this along with some rapidity. So unfortunately we don't have names, so I don't know who's volunteered these things. We'll just take it from the top.
Chris, distributed discoverable open data.
Yeah. And the idea is that we'll have a sentence or two, not a speech, just to give us enough feel, and then we'll ask for a show of hands. We'll take a count, and for each topic, we'll proceed and do that. So you're Chris
Gutteridge.
Chris Gutteridge.
Hello. Okay, open data is my field, and it's woefully centralised. It's all governments and big catalogues, and that's crap. Want to make it more like RSS, you just go to a place and you get their data. We've got a system that does this, it works, it's being used by 26 universities, and you can steal it and make it better and I can't stop you. I'll show you how it works and where the code is and stuff.
Well done. Yes. Any quick questions for Chris? Clarification? No? Right. Would you care to raise your hands and show us who would like to listen to Chris? And we have a teller here.
Whoa.
That's a good start.
And you are?
I'm David.
David. David's doing
And I'm going to call that 31.
Okay, well done.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Woo, that was worth getting up for.
Second one. Building your own federated floss
Google Docs.
Google Docs.
Yeah.
And you're Pablo. Yeah.
Thank you.
Introduce yourself as well.
Very fast. If you want to stop using Google Docs, stop editing collaborative documents and building collaborative applications with a federated infrastructure, and without knowing WebSockets, you don't need to know protocols and anything technical stuff, then you want to use SwellRT, and I would like to show you how it works and how can you use it. That's it.
Okay, any questions for Pablo? No? Everyone understand? Let's have a show of hands. So, wow. Very well.
Great.
So, hands further up and keep them up and longer. Hands, right?
Do you want an assistant? We get
Yes,
someone to
let's
count this
count
side.
that side.
Do you count it?
The microphone on.
Just this.
It's
Seven
green.
on that side. 7 on this quadrant here.
It is on. It's just quiet. Is SwellRT the product that you're going to
Yeah.
be talking about? Okay. I just want to have a look.
Okay.
Oh, I forgot to mention the Wi-Fi. You can log into the Wi-Fi. The passwords are basically stuck around on post-it notes everywhere, as is the hashtag that we're using, which is Redecentralize
With a Z.
with a Z.
Yeah.
The Wi-Fi doesn't work. It's worse for me. Maybe it's a password.
Well, while we sort that out, we'll keep moving, keep the momentum up. So the next one is the HI project, hash privacy, hash accessibility, and hash sustainability. So you're Philip.
I am,
Yeah.
yes.
Have that one. It's a big one.
Thank you very much. Good morning. My name is Philip. I'm a protagonist at the HI project. We're trying to make sure that we can build a sustainable digital network in order that, as a species, we can live sustainably. And sustainability demands distribution, personal agency, and inclusivity. And we hope to contribute to that by breaking up the UI, which is flawed. Now that it's non-physical, it doesn't have to reside with the server. It can reside with each and every one of us in an open way, where your human interface calls open components and open methods to try and render the interface that aspires, at least, to be perfectly yours. And as we achieve that, we have benefits in terms of personal data and privacy, usability and accessibility, and on the basis that decentralization cannot be marketed, those other qualities seed this capability with everybody so that we can also re-decentralize as a very happy consequence. Thank you.
Any questions at all for Philip? Cool. Right. Sorry, go ahead.
We're all stunned.
We're all stunned. Everyone understands. Okay, a show of hands, please. How many this side? 5. 5 this side. And the answer is 21. Yes. Right. Excellent. Thank you very much. Right. The next one is called Search Engine Internals. Build your own. An introduction. So it's Hugh. Yeah.
Yeah, hi, I'm Hugh Barnard. I've been messing around with search engines probably since about 1982, I guess. I feel that search engine space is very, very dominated, probably by Google. I also feel that decentralization will mean that we have to look for things. It's important that we look for things with an algorithm that's honest. Therefore, I've been encouraging people of all shapes and sizes basically to build search engines. It's not that difficult. The talk will be technical, but it'll be sort of mid-level. It won't be deeply technical. So if anyone's interested in that, please go ahead and raise your hand.
Well, that's not the plan. 8 from the side. David, how are we doing?
29.
29. Well done. Thank you. Right. The next one is entitled Decentralized Communication with Matrix. And it's Odvar? Yeah. From matrix.org.
Yes, good morning. Yeah, my name is Odvar and I'm from Matrix, and you can find us at matrix.org. And we're a non-profit that set up an open decentralized communication protocol. So basically, my goal is that you can take all your instant messaging and VoIP apps on your phone and delete them and just have one app that can talk to anyone. So, if I want to talk to, Will over there, I don't want to talk to his Facebook account. I want to talk to him, and I don't really care, where he reads it or how he responds. So Matrix is an open protocol where that any app can implement, and that means that all the apps that use that protocol can talk to each other. So in the talk, I will explain how it works and how it's, what features it has, and also describe how you can run your own server and join the federated network that makes the Matrix ecosystem. Thanks.
Okay. So, quick show of hands. What's it called in a nutshell, would you say? Search engine internals, is that your...
No, it's decentralized communication.
Ah, decentralized communication. Sorry. Yeah. So, how are we doing? Right. 5 from here.
It's 27.
27. It's all neck and neck, this. Neck and neck. Thank you very much, Odvar. Right. Digital Bill of Rights. UK. Decentralise and legislate. And you are?
I'm Eva Pasco.
Eva.
Hi, I'm Eva Pasco. I'm the chairman of cybersalon.org, which is the digital activism organization. We've been around roughly since 1997, causing trouble, stirring things up, and trying to push things towards decentralization. And we're working at the moment on a campaign to bring decentralization as a key tenet of Digital Bill of Rights UK. A, to raise awareness, to get some money, and also to sponsor initiatives like you are developing today, because it actually needs funding. So we're working with Tim Berners-Lee, who is called for Digital Magna Carta on a global level, and the Brazilians went ahead with Marco Civil, the Italians went ahead, just managed to get one through, so we should try to get the Digital Bill of Rights UK through as soon as possible. We have Tom Watson as a signatory, and today we're just trying to work out which of the rights are the priorities and work out how we can work with the Brazilians and the Italians and the UK community to get that into Parliament, into the reading in spring. So hopefully you can join us and make it a pack so we can decide what needs funding, where, and develop a bit of a roadmap for the decentralization. Thank you.
Thanks, Eva. Are you Eva or Ava?
Eva.
Eva, yes. So, quick show of hands. Digital Bill of Rights, UK. Well, that's almost universal.
Say it over here.
So you've got that. Yeah, you've got the biggest hit so far. That means you'll possibly be first. You appreciate that. Right. Privacy as a business model, how to make a living. And it's Benjamin, or Ben?
Benjamin, yeah.
Benjamin.
Hey guys, so I'm Benjamin Heidmann, and I'm proposing a discussion session. So I did not really prepare material for that, but it's about the idea that we're now living in a post-Snowden world, and we have the first high-level significant impact from that last week when the Central Court of Justice of Europe decided that safe harbor is invalid. And there are some commenters who say that this is based on such a deep declaration of rights, so it's not easy to circumvent. So what this means is that there might be the first real monetary incentive to have privacy guaranteed in whatever technical system you're using. And this sounds like people might be paying real money for that in the future. And what I'd like to do is talk with people who have ideas on how to make that happen. And it's just about discussing that because it's a very different situation. If you have looked into that, there has been almost zero monetary incentive to build these systems. That's why there's no research and no innovation. Now, if I say no, that's like this, right? But it has not had an impact. So this is about talking, just brainstorming, what could happen there? Because it's brand new development, and personally it's something where I would like to go, but I don't know how to get there, right? Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Benjamin. So do you propose to lead this discussion, or do you just want to launch it? And
No, I can definitely lead the discussion as well.
Yes.
I don't know, moderate or something, but I also would like to benefit from it.
Yep, okay, so you want to find out about stuff too. So privacy as a business model, a discussion, which is a change. I've got to wake him up. David, we have a show of hands.
It's 9 over here.
So what's the score? 25. Yeah, pretty good. Yes. So we have one more topic at the moment, which is. Sorry? We got more to add. Excellent, excellent. So Francis, and the topic is sync stroke backup. Would you like to say a few words? Here's the mic. Go ahead.
So I'm actually really frustrated. I spend hours every month trying to find solutions to stop me using things like Dropbox and CrashPlan for file sync and backups. This is about your own files. How do you not lose them? Make sure they're synced between devices, but using something decentralized. There's lots of products that try to do it. None of them work for me. So I want to find out people who've got ones that are working, share tips on how to use them, file bugs for the things that are wrong with them. So it's a kind of workshop session to collaboratively find out what personal sync backup tools are going to actually be ones I can use.
So, who knows about this? So Francis has said he wants to find out. Is there anyone who's actually able to talk about it or offer things?
Can we maybe broaden it out into what tools are everyone using for privacy generally, rather than just file backup?
No, I'm deliberately just doing file backup to keep it very focused, because there's loads of other things like instant messaging, a whole massive topics. I'd rather.
So it's great. So that's actually
possibly easier.
That's another thing, and I was actually going to try and do that tomorrow, which is like build up firstly, I want 2 sessions. One which is like developing a database. So we have, for Redecentralize, we have that GitHub list of alternative technologies, and it's really long, there's almost 200 things on it, but it's not searchable, and it's not up to date. So I want a database, like a wiki, which I can search, which is sort of like, is this protocol, is this user interface, is this for developers, like what stage is it at, has it launched, does it have a business model, that kind of stuff, and to crowdsource that. And then I would like another session, which is let's develop an actual guide for how do you switch to things like this is the 2016 guide or whatever, but what can you use now and switch. So if you would like to help do that, maybe we can organise that tomorrow. Who else?
So is that an extra unconference topic?
That's an extra, but I really wanted to do it, but not today.
Just to take an analogous argument, in, I don't know, the 1970s, Stuart Brand developed the whole Earth catalogue, So this is the digital analogy of the whole Earth catalogue, if you like. It's the redecentralized whole Earth.
Yeah.
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 That's what it seems to me.
Yeah. So I think maybe we can make sure that happens tomorrow.
Yeah, but that's something completely different from what France
That
is.
is different from what France is. What I'm saying is we'll still do some. I think we should do extra sessions about that.
Yeah.
And Francis is just about sync and back up.
So back to Francis' topic. Who would like to participate in or hear about sync and backup?
Six.
6 from this side.
You've
got the 6.
Yeah.
So the answer's 32. Right, we've a queue now. We got that one. Thank you. Thank you. We've a queue of some extra topics. So
Bacon mail, poisoning the social graph.
I don't know whether you heard that. So it's Tony.
My name's Tony Shaper.
And the topic is
Bacon mail. So the topic is bacon mail. It's kind of a tentative title at the moment, but I'll explain what it means in a second. Basically, I'm talking about poisoning the social graph. One of the problems we have with sending emails to people is that you can encrypt them, but people can actually look for the metadata of who you send the data, when you send it, and that causes, obviously, leakage of information that people might not want to know. Basically, my idea is it seems quite simple, is that we set up a system where you don't send a mail directly to people, you send a mail to 5 other people who then send the mail to that person. And basically, it's an idea that I've thought about for a while, and I haven't heard anyone talk about it. I was wondering if anyone's actually come across an idea like that, and maybe just get together and sort of discuss whether that's a good idea or not.
So you're proposing a discussion? Yes. And you're
Yeah,
calling it bacon mail? Have you got a subtext?
Sorry, the reason why it's bacon mail is because of this thing about 5 actors between you and the other actor and Kevin Bacon.
Oh, right, yes. So, a quick show of hands, please. This is a discussion, is it, rather than a presentation?
Well, yeah, I'd like to just sort of talk to people about
so,
it. I think that's a good
question?
idea.
How does it differ from mixnets?
This is what I want to know, because I've never heard of Mixnet. I've heard of things like Mix, where you're doing anonymising data, where you actually use it, bounce it around by people to make it anonymous. But with this system, the idea is that you basically encrypt your email with the person you're sending it to's private key. So it's just like a normal mail. When they get it, they then unencrypt it. Basically, then you can then send it. It's not anonymous. They can send the stuff back to you, as it were.
Okay. Show of hands. Who would like to participate in a discussion? Really, is it?
Yes.
Yes. About bacon mail. Show of hands. Oh, we're not doing very well. Everyone's happy with Gmail, perhaps. I don't know. Okay. Right. And small? Hi, so you are?
I'm Max.
Max?
I'm Emacs, like the editor, but with an X instead. Hi, good morning. So people are living longer, and this is really annoying. Because people are now living an average lifespan in London, believe it or not, even out there, for 80 years, right? Plus or minus a few years, right? And so if you ask, okay, we're going to help people keep data for a lifetime, you're talking about 80 years. Now, I haven't been around 80 years. However, in my lifetime, I've already lost probably 90% of my data. Keeping data and using it effectively for more than like a year is a real problem. And cloud computing makes it a whole lot worse. Like, we now have less control over everything we do than ever before, as we all know. That's why we're all here, right? So I'm at Oxford right now, and we're studying how people use their data, various kinds of data, from medical records to photo albums to email, things like that. And so I'm going to give a highly opinionated talk about what we need to support people's activities for the long term. And I'm going to also make a bunch of unfounded claims about some of the cool decentralized technologies we're working on, and say why we might need something more. So those of you who are Ethereum and IPFS people here, please come and attack me because I'm going to make a bunch of claims about these things. So I'm going to say basically a TLDR, let's stay with the web and make it a little bit more organic.
So have you a title?
Yeah, my title is Let's Make Some Pies. Personal Information Environments.
Right. So quick show of hands, please. Wow. How are we doing?
10 over here.
10 on the right here.
24, 34.
34. 34. Thank you very much, Max. Have we more? Have we more?
Yes, there are. Yeah, let's do community title first. Right.
Deployments.
Deployments.
Yeah.
Yeah? Any sort of tagline to go with that?
I'll explain. Right, so
And you're Robbie.
I'm Robbie. I work for Canonical full-time on Ubuntu server, and I'm interested in how people deploy decentralized tools. A bunch of these things, or a bunch of the projects that people are working on, involve somehow running something that's on all the time, even if it's in a server in your house, or if it's you're paying a service provider or something like that. I think that at the moment it's too difficult. I think that if I want to run my own mail server, I hear people say, well, that's just too complicated. Who bothers to do that nowadays anyway? It's too much effort. I think it should be a push-button thing that everyone can do. And I want to talk about how we're failing at the moment to achieve these things and what we might be able to do to make that better. I've got only 3 slides prepared. I want to have a very brief talk on what I think about it, but I also would like a discussion and maybe even think about starting something with a goal of making it easy for users to deploy their decentralized tools.
So have you got a...
So title is just deployments.
Deployments.
7.
7 plus 7. 24. Thanks very much, Robbie. More? Have we more? How are we doing?
Yeah, there's 2 more.
2 more? How are we doing for time?
I think the final time we might ask people who would be up for doing it tomorrow as well. Like, just 'cause
Yes, we'll revisit this.
We might not fit everything in today, and then we're going to have we're going to start the day tomorrow with pitches as well. So if like something blows your mind today, and then you realise, bam, we need to have a session tomorrow.
Yeah, so we could have more votes and reshuffle the sessions if we wanted to. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Backfeed and decentralized.
So, backfeed and decentralized corporations. Right. Sorry, I'll say it again. Backfeed and decentralized corporations, and you are? Patan. There we go.
Hi. So, blockchain is a consensus protocol that allows, for example, in particular, allows a network node in a network distribute value between nodes and hold a consensus. However, all blockchain protocols are based on algorithms with verifiable input, like proof of work, proof of stake, proof of CPU, and such stuff. So if you want to generalize that also to interaction, which are basically based on human input, you need another layer of protocol. And that's basically what we are doing in Backfeed. So decentralized protocol for human-based interactions that can, for example, make decentralized collaboration, decentralized startup, decentralized journalism, decentralized insurance, and so on. So basically, open protocol for open consensus protocol based on human input.
Thanks, Martin. So, quick show of hands. And it's called Backfeed and Decentralized Corporations.
On the blockchain.
On the blockchain.
It's overlay on
on the blockchain. So how are we doing? 6 on the right. 12 is the answer.
It's on theory, yeah. We've got a lot of theory today.
Any more? Any more, or are we more? One more.
And then
So you're
Solid.
solid. Yes.
So,
and your topic?
Distributed social and data. Together. So I think perhaps Andre has already spoken today. No, you haven't. Okay, good. So what is Solid? This came out of, let's say, we've been working on this for a long time at the W3C, especially Tim Berners-Lee at MIT. A lot of standards have over the last 20 years been consolidating, allowing us to build distributed social networks completely the way people here would like it to have, and secure. There's a social web working group at the W3C that I think is falling a little bit apart, but as a good consequence of that, because there's about 3 different groups that are trying to tackle the problem in different ways, this has stabilized and solidified this group that we termed SOLID, Social Link Data. And I think what we'd like to do here, since we have 3 specialists, I mean, this is an opportunity for everybody to, Andre Sanro, who has a PhD, also you're at MIT also? Yeah. Right, okay. And I'm here working from France. That this is a great time to pick brains and try to help see how you can use all of the technologies in the browser now to build this type of thing, from JavaScript, from a crypto API, to how you have to implement a server so that you can write applications that can run on any kind of server, getting data across the web and making user interfaces that people can use. Right, so that's the aim, and make something that people can actually use.
So, I have a quick question as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just want to say, so also Andre and Nicola will be talking about it tomorrow. And they have a talk that we hear. So it would be just really good to know, like, are you thinking of this as a user requirements workshop, or as a what sort of what's the session a little bit? Like, what's the format? Yeah. Sorry.
What are the formats?
How would you like to do? I mean, you could just stand up and speak for a long
is
time.
Is it a talk, or is it
or you could have
a workshop, or a discussion, or user requirements?
It looks like it should be. My guess is that we should probably have had Andre's session today and then a workshop tomorrow. So my guess is you need
a. You could do a workshop tomorrow as well.
My guess is you need a bit of theory just to but it doesn't need to be that long. But I think it's theory with examples, because it's not really. We now have real working examples that are really nice to look at. So I don't know. We should discuss this between us. Yeah. Yeah.
So, do you think this is part of the unconference bit, or is it something completely different?
I think it's part of the unconference bit.
Yes.
But I think it would be good to do that maybe tomorrow. That's one thing after Andre and Nicola. So,
Okay.
but we can see a show of hands anyway. But I would say if we could do this tomorrow, I think it would make more sense.
Yes, that's fine. Yes. Okay, show of hands, quick one. Pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. How are we doing, David? 8.
20 over 28.
Great.
Right, I think that's it for the time
That
being.
is
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you everybody who came to the conference. So next we've got Vinay.
We're going to introduce speaking.
Introduce speakers. That's me, Francis. Francis, thank you so much.
So Era's cheated. We said it's almost an unconference. You scheduled at least one session or a few sessions that aren't unconferencey. And one of them is speed geeking, which is not a phrase I like, but apparently it's what it's called. At 3:45, we're going to introduce new projects to each other. So if you've got a project you're really passionate about, with your own or one that you know quite well, or you're interested in learning about lots of new projects very quickly, then come along here at 3:45 to speed geeking, and we'll just very quickly rotate around like speed dating every 5 minutes, talking to people who have got projects. Does that make sense?
If you have a project, we should probably find you before that.
Yeah, if you have a project, come along to the session or come and tell me in advance. Yeah.
Yeah, I think people with projects come in advance, and the idea is that everyone who has a project will get to demo it and discuss it and etc. And people who don't have projects give feedback, skills, learn about stuff, and it's like an interactive thing as opposed to like more like talk things. What else?
I'll get a piece of paper, so come and find me and write your project name on it.
Yay! Sorry, and then we also have scheduled in today, Vinay.
I'm Vinay from Ethereum, and also Consensus Systems, which is building a bunch of stuff on top of Ethereum. We're going to have 3 speakers today. I'm going to do a history of essentially 1990s vintage cypherpunk and how that evolves through 3 or 4 innovations into blockchains. Jutta Steiner will be talking about decentralizing the real world. So essentially crypto and management of supply chains so that you can do things like decentralized supply, manufacturing, this kind of stuff. And Gavin Wood will be talking about what the hell is Ethereum. And we just wanted to say thank you all very much for coming, and we're proud to be sponsoring this.